You call me sneaky because I appear near food without warning. But hunger taught my paws to arrive before kindness ever could. By the time you notice my face beside a bowl, I have already measured exits, footsteps, shadows, and the distance between pain and survival. I do not approach food like a peaceful animal eating dinner. I approach it like someone trying to outrun another empty night. What looks like greed is often panic, because starving too many times teaches the body to grab first and ask safety questions later. Every alley I crossed left a lesson inside me. Slow cats lose meals, trusting cats get hurt, and hungry cats disappear quietly. So when my eyes widen at a fish scrap, I am not dreaming of luxury. I am calculating whether today gets to continue. You may see a thief near a kitchen window, but inside this small body, there is only a creature terrified of tomorrow. Before I bite anything, my ears rise first, because danger always reaches me faster than mercy, and fear listens before hunger swallows. Even the smell of warm food does not relax me. It shakes loose old memories of being shoved away while my stomach twisted. Some nights I found bones, some nights nothing. And those empty nights stayed with me longer than any full mouth ever did. That is why I rush even when nobody moves toward me. Because my body remembers losses long before my mind notices safety. A plate on the ground should mean relief. Yet my paws still tense, ready to flee as if kindness might suddenly change. When I eat too fast, I am not being rude. I am racing an invisible clock built from nights when waiting meant going hungry. When I snarl at footsteps near my meal, it is not hatred speaking. It is terror that my one chance is vanishing. My shoulders curl around food because no wall ever protected me. So my own body learned to become the barrier itself instead. If another cat appears, every muscle in me hardens. Because sharing is hard to learn when scarcity has always been the loudest rule. If a hand reaches down while I am chewing, I do not see generosity first. I see all the times hands came with force. That is why my eyes dart everywhere while I eat. Because one careless second used to cost me the only meal available. I learned to swallow before tasting, because enjoying food belonged to safer lives, and mine was built around finishing before trouble arrived. Sometimes I carry food away and hide it, not because I am mischievous, but because tomorrow never promised it would feed me. A hidden crust, a stolen piece of fish, a scrap beneath a step. These become my insurance against a world without guarantees. Even after my belly softens, fear does not. Because hunger in the mind keeps hunting long after hunger in the body fades. You wonder why I keep searching after eating. But survival taught me that fullness is temporary, and opportunity disappears faster than trust returns. My paws remember cold pavement, empty dawns, and the sharp sound of being chased away before I could even sniff dinner there. So yes, I arrived desperate, because desperation kept me alive when politeness would have left me thin, shaking and forgotten in rain. People punish the speed of my mouth without seeing the history inside it. A history made from shortage, fear, and constant interruption. No, to you, food is a routine. To me, food was a chance event that might vanish between one blink and the next. That difference is the whole wound, because creatures raised in safety eat differently from creatures trained by uncertainty to expect loss everywhere. I did not wake up wanting to sneak through doorways. I learned those doorways were where survival sometimes dropped its guard briefly. I did not choose the trash bin because it was shameful or thrilling. I chose it because shame matters less than starvation. I did not steal from windowsills for sport. I stole because the street had already taught me that hunger never waits politely. Every quick bite carries two feelings at once. Relief that I found something, and dread that being discovered might end it suddenly. So I chew with my eyes open, ears rigid, paws ready, because eating never became rest for me. It stayed a test. Even silence around a meal can scare me, because danger used to arrive quietly, without warning, and take everything before I understood. When I pause between bites, I am not savoring anything. I am listening for the sound that once meant run immediately away. If I grab food and vanish under a car, that is not cunning pride. It is an old strategy against sudden humiliation. I have eaten while shaking, swallowed while bleeding, and hidden while chewing. So calm hunger is something I barely remember anymore now. What you call bad manners may just be survival surviving, because the body repeats what once worked even after the danger changes. That is why rescue does not erase fear overnight. A full bowl can fill my stomach before it ever convinces my heart. Safety must happen again and again before I believe it, because one gentle day cannot silence years of going without food completely. Sometimes I stare at a bowl before touching it, because part of me still suspects the world is setting a trap there. Sometimes I eat and then look ashamed, not because I understand theft like humans do, but because fear can resemble guilt closely. The street trained me to expect punishment near food, so even relief tastes mixed with tension, caution, speed, and disbelief inside me. I know where kitchens smell richest, where restaurant scraps appear latest, where doors stay loose longest, because maps of hunger never leave. Those routes are not tricks of a clever villain. They are survival paths memorized by a body trying not to disappear again. Every stolen bite has a price afterward. Racing heart, a tight stomach, watchful eyes, and the certainty that peace cannot be trusted yet. I do not defend food because I love conflict. I defend it because losing it feels dangerously close to losing myself again. When my body hovers low over a scrap, it is performing an old promise. Protect this now, because nothing else is promised. That posture may look ugly to you, but to me, it is the shape survival carved after too many hungry dawns outside. And if I steal once more tomorrow, it will not mean I forgot kindness. It will mean fear still arrived first inside. Because hunger does not end when the bowl appears. It ends only when the body finally trusts another bowl will come later. That trust is hard for strays like me, because tomorrow was never promised. Only a question I somehow had to survive daily. Even now, a quiet meal feels unreal. Bossa like wearing a life that belongs to some other cat who never starved before outside. Part of me wants to eat slowly, to breathe, to believe. But the older part keeps whispering that safety can vanish instantly. So I live between two urges, one reaching for peace, the other bracing for loss. And fear usually runs faster than hope. No animal should have to treat every meal like a chase scene. Yet that is exactly what life outside trained me into. And the longer I survived that way, the more my face started wearing the hard expression people wrongly call selfishness every day. But selfishness chooses comfort over others. I was only trying to keep one small life from slipping away in plain hunger again. The saddest part is that I do not want to live like this. I want to eat without preparing to run afterward. I want a meal that does not make my heart pound, a corner where chewing is ordinary, and a morning without calculation. I want to lift my head from food because I feel safe, not because fear keeps dragging my eyes toward danger nearby. I want fullness to mean rest, not strategy, not hiding, not guarding, not swallowing too fast to notice that I am fed. But wanting peace and trusting peace are different things, especially when the world spent so long teaching your body the opposite daily. So if I seem intense around food, please understand that intensity is what survival looked like before anyone offered me gentleness first. If I seem possessive, remember that possession was once the thin line between making it through the night and collapsing hungry outside. If I seem suspicious, remember that suspicion kept me alive when trust would have walked me straight into kicks, shouting, and emptiness. And if I keep saving scraps, do not laugh too quickly, because hidden food is what hope looks like after long deprivation. A cat like me can learn comfort, but first comfort must arrive often enough to outrun the old mathematics of fear inside. That change begins with consistency, a bowl that returns, a place unbroken by threats, and hands that do not punish hunger there. Only then does the body loosen its grip, letting the meal become food again instead of a battlefield disguised as dinner time. Only then can my ears lower while chewing, because peace is finally louder than the memory of footsteps rushing toward me there. Only then can I leave food uneaten without panic, by trusting the world will not punish me for stopping when my body is full. Only then can hiding scraps become unnecessary, because tomorrow no longer feels like a cliff edge hidden just beyond the dark doorway. Only then can a meal become what it should have always been: nourishment, warmth, and a quiet yes from life itself again. Until then, please do not mistake my urgency for wickedness, because desperate behavior often grows where safety has been missing longest before. What looks ugly from the outside can be grief wearing claws, fear wearing speed, and hunger wearing the mask of theft alone. What looks shameless can be a body too tired to perform dignity while fighting the oldest command any creature knows: survive today. I was not born planning raids on leftovers. I was shaped by cold nights, empty gutters, and the terror of another dawn unfed. So the next time you see a stray seize food and flee, remember that panic may be the language starvation taught first. Remember that speed may come from old danger, that guarding may come from old loss, and that hiding may come from memory. Remember that no creature becomes harsh without a history. And some histories are written in hunger before anyone ever offers kindness nearby. Maybe what you call a bad habit is really an old emergency still echoing inside a body that never felt secure before. Maybe the ugliest behaviors are sometimes the clearest evidence that life pushed a small animal past comfort and deep into alarm daily. Maybe mercy starts when we stop asking why he is so greedy, and start asking how long he had nothing before this. Because some creatures do not need judgment first, but they need enough safety for their nervous hearts to believe the hunger is over. And sometimes, the kindest thing we can see is this: a so-called thief was only a survivor cornered by need outside. He looked sly because fear made him quick, looked greedy because starvation made him urgent, and looked cold because trust arrived last. If you had carried the same empty nights inside your ribs, you might have run for food exactly the same way too. So no, he is not rotten at the core. He is a small life still obeying the brutal lessons of hunger alone. And when you understand that, his stolen bite stops looking evil and starts looking like a frightened animal still trying to live.